Profit numbers be darned because HTC is fighting, and they're fighting hard with their latest smartphone, the HTC One. It's beautiful, it's got incredible specifications, it's intended to compete with things from Samsung, LG, and more, and it's in the PhoneDog offices right now. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com. Let's take a look at the full unboxing of the HTC One. The HTC One is in the office, and this is a real unboxing with a real retail packaged HTC One. This is probably the most excited I've been about an Android device in some time, most likely since the Galaxy S3, because this thing is bringing HTC up to new levels. You know, it's going to be a challenge for them from a marketing standpoint, I should say. Getting it on AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile, fantastic, but I want to see them really market this device in the States, because I think this is a device, specs-wise, hardware-wise, everything-wise, can really compete with some of the high-end options on the market. What's presumed to be the Galaxy S4, the Galaxy Note 2, Motorola's options, LG's options. This is an awesome Android smartphone, and it really brings a balance to those people that want Android, but want something like the iPhone 5 in terms of build quality, or maybe the Nexus 4, but they don't want stock Android. It's a great choice, and it's going to be subsidized on multiple carriers in the US. This is the HTC One, the 32 gigabyte version, the silver version, like I said, in retail packaging and specs wise. Just to give you a quick recap, it's got a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor, 2 gigabytes of RAM, Android 4.1.2 with HTC Sense 5 with Blink Feed, which we'll take a look at in just a second. Really nice box as well. A 2,300 milliamp hour non-removable battery here, and then you got the camera with ultra pixels and HTC Zoe. So they're not going by megapixels, they're going by ultra pixels this time around. But you can see what the box looks like here, and here is the HTC One. Ooh, ah. I was trying to make some noise. Make some noise to talk about the device. Clearly, I have had my share of coffee, but really just a gorgeous device. And anytime I've held it, anytime I've worked with it in meetings and events at Mobile World Congress, I've just been so impressed with the overall look and feel of this device. They've just done a killer job all around. Let's see what we get out of the box. Of course, some adapters, and it looks like a European adapter. Yeah, we get the European HTC adapter, the UK adapter. So typical, this is a European device. This is not a US retail device, but still is a retail device with retail packaging, which is really cool. So an official unboxing of an actual retail branded device. USB cable here, and then you get some headphones as well. Looks like some Beats headphones, which is fantastic because the Beats audio integration is present here. Let's see what we've got. Maybe these aren't Beats headphones. I take that back. They look like Beats headphones out of the box, but they are not Beats audio headphones. You can buy a pair of iBeats for about $99, so keep that in mind if you want to take advantage of Beats audio. Get your IMEI slip here. You get a SIM card removal tray tool, your HTC One warranty statement, license agreement, safety and regulatory guide, and HTC making the most of your new HTC One. I just think it's cool that they've got a phone, so when you look at people, you can say, I've got the One. That's pretty cool. But beautiful build quality. I mean, this just does not do it justice. Compare this to something like the Nexus 4, which is beautiful in its own right, but still just gorgeous build quality with metal, with glass, and then compare it to the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which Samsung tends to rely a little bit more on plastics. So you can see, obviously, a design preference for both people, depending on, or both types, I should say, depending on what you like in your smartphone. So let's power it up here. You'll notice, first of all, the speakers are on both sides, I should say. The volume here is going to be fantastic. The grills are on both sides and on the front. So when you're listening to a video, you're watching a video rather, the sound is coming at you and not playing out of the back. Just little design improvements like that really make me think this device is going to do really well when it hits retail. But you know, I'll tell you from my years of experience working retail, it's going to be all about marketing this device and getting a good marketing plan in place and making sure retail representatives know exactly what they're pitching. It's going to be a challenge, an uphill battle for HTC in an age where Apple and Samsung are the two names in mobile technology. HTC really needs to continue to make that dent and rebuild their brand as a challenger to Apple, to Samsung, and then to LG and Motorola. But beautiful device here, a 4.7-inch HD 1080p display, which is gorgeous, and one is loading up right now. Now you'll notice the button configuration is a little bit different here on the bottom. You've got back and you've got home, and then you get this HTC logo in the middle. Doesn't do anything. These just serve as a couple of different buttons within one button, I should say. So I'll show you in just a second. For example, Google Now access and recent apps access can be accessed by those buttons. But I don't want to turn it too much because I want you to see the boot animation. But you've got your micro SIM card slot right here. You've got your volume rocker right here. You've got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up top with a power button and micro USB charging port at the bottom. It comes in black and in silver, 32 and 64 gigabytes. So let's go ahead and start this up right now. So yep, we're going to start English, and we're going to do United States because I'm American. And we're going to go ahead and start that right up. We'll go ahead and skip over this right now. And then we'll set it up from scratch because we want to do a whole configuration. I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm doing a 30-day challenge with the HTC One. That is my next device, so stay tuned for that video a little bit later today. But I'll skip this stuff for right now and go through because I want to show you a little bit of blink feed. Not to spoil it for you, but I want to show you blink feed and the overall look and feel of this device. You know what? We're going to give it a name. We'll just keep it HTC One, and you can see overall what it looks like. Beautiful device. The fonts are slightly different here. They have changed it around in Sense 5, but you'll see out of the box you get this kind of thing. It looks a little bit like Flipboard rather. Well, HTC calls it Blink Feed, and it's a feed that's kind of similar in a lot of ways to Flipboard, but it brings your content together. It's aggregated into one area, so your Twitter, your Facebook, your news that matters the most to you. So, whether it's TechCrunch, whether it's CNN or ABC, I actually don't know the content providers because I haven't looked just yet, but you can bring those in. Topics and services, for example, and take a look. And I don't have it connected to Wi-Fi, but it would say under featured headlines, a couple of different choices for you to choose from. Services and apps you can see here. And yes, I know I'm not connected, HTC One, thank you. But that's exactly what you use it for there. Now, you'll notice the icons have changed here as well. And when you go into the apps area, you'll notice the clock stays at the top. And then when the weather data is available, when I throw a SIM card in, you'll have that choice as well. So it's in a 3x3 configuration. You can actually do a 3x4 configuration if I remember from my meetings, but I'll do that in the full review or perhaps in the challenge so you can take a look at that. But fonts, like I said, slightly different here. And obviously the icons have been changed as well. The messaging icon is different, the phone icon is different, and the phone application within itself is different as well. I've talked in the past a ton about the fact that HTC, I didn't care for the way they did their dialer application with how the recent calls were up here. Gone is that. They've scrapped it. And they've moved on to something like this, which I think is far cleaner and kind of reminiscent of Windows Phone 8 in a lot of ways. With the call history, you just swipe to go to phone, swipe to favorites, swipe to call history. Kind of reminiscent of something Windows Phone 8 would do in terms of the overall look and feel. Now, pressing and holding home brings up Google Now. Pressing and holding back brings up nothing. Let me see if yeah, that's right. Double tap brings up recent apps. Double tap of home, and I can swipe away, and you'll notice HTC has created a new look and feel for recent applications. Now, if you're looking and thinking to yourself, I hate this blink feed, I want my stock Android home screens, well, you can disable blink feed, or you can just swipe right over to the right and access your home screens quickly and easily. Maybe your home screens too. I don't even know what that is, but you can probably access those from the home screen. The home screens from the home screen. You can see your settings here. Personalization still very intact and still very important in HTC's overall strategy. You've got a couple different notification sound options, some ringtone options. You've got your lock screen style, and you can customize the home screen to add widgets as well. I've always been a fan, like I said, of productivity, and just take a look at how fast this device moves. 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it's utilizing that new 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 600 CPU. So incredibly fast, incredibly fluid, and I can't get over it and can't talk about it enough how great this phone feels in the hand. So for those people that think 5.5 inches is too much or 5 inches is too much, you still got almost 100% travel for my hands, my big hands, across this device. Still a very pocketable device, still one that's easy to hold in the hand, but incredibly fast all around with little to no lag whatsoever. We'll take a look at the Ultra Pixel camera and HTC Zoe, all of that stuff both in the 30-day challenge and in the full video review and the snapshot review a little bit as well. But I'm excited to test out the camera. HTC is making a bold move by getting rid of that Ultra Pixel or getting rid of that megapixels branding for Ultra Pixels. We'll see if it pays off. But before we time out, I want to go ahead and jump over to Best Buy Mobile and give them thanks for hooking us up with devices like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile soon to get your HTC One, you'll walk out working. They'll help you get your email, your web, your Ultra Pixel settings, your HTC Zoe's all set up. So when you walk out the door, you know exactly what you're doing with the device because at Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. That's it for me. Stay tuned for more on the HTC One, the 30-day challenge, the full video review, the snapshot review, dog fights, and more. I'm really excited this device is finally in the office, and I think this is going to be one of the best Android phones of 2013. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Sense 5 looks better than ever. It's fast, and hopefully, I've talked about Sense kind of being a resource-heavy operating system or user interface overlay, I should say. Hopefully this time around with the RAM, the improvements, and the better processor, this thing's going to buzz right by and going to be incredible. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com because we'll find out together. In the meantime, hit me up on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB, or excuse me, Facebook.com/Hi Aaron Baker is my new username. Also hit us up on Google+, gplus.to/PhoneDog. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the challenge series, the reviews, and more on PhoneDog.com. I'll see you next time.